I should have known something was wrong the night. She came home wearing my brother's hoodie. It was just chilly at the lake, she said with a shrug, tossing it onto the couch like it didn't mean anything. But I knew that hoodie. It had his initials stitched inside the collar, a gift from our mom before he moved to L.A. That was the beginning of the unraveling. Liam had always been the golden child. Charming, athletic, magnetic. Growing up, I watched him glide through life with a grin and a wink, while I stumbled in his shadow. He got the trophies, the praise, the girls. I was the quiet one, the fixer, the afterthought. And when I started dating Emma, I thought I'd finally found something. Someone that was mine. We'd been together for nearly 2 years. She met him at my birthday party last fall. He showed up late, like he always did, wearing sunglasses indoors and that smug little grin that somehow made everyone forget how selfish he was. Everyone except me. Emma laughed at his jokes a little too easily that night. I chalked it up to wine and nerves. I didn't want to seem paranoid. I didn't want to be the insecure boyfriend. But deep down, a warning light flickered. It took me 3 weeks to catch them. She told me she was staying late at the studio. Liam posted a story from a rooftop bar. Her hand in the corner of the frame, the same chipped turquoise nail polish she'd worn all week. I confronted her that night. She didn't cry. She didn't deny it. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said flatly. But he understands me in ways you don't. That stung more than I expected. I asked her to leave. I wasn't ready for what happened next. Liam showed up at my apartment 2 days later, holding a six-pack like this was just another casual visit. He didn't even look sorry. Come on, man. You really thought you wouldn't fall for me? He smirked, dropping onto my couch. You should know by now, I always get what I want. That sentence. That arrogant little sentence. Something inside me snapped. I didn't scream. I didn't throw punches. I didn't even raise my voice. I just smiled. Yeah, I said, you do. And you always want more than you can handle. He raised an eyebrow like he didn't understand. He never did see the long game. I never told him that Emma had already cheated on him. Twice. With her ex. That she cried in my car the night after sleeping with Liam, saying she regretted everything. That I had screenshots, voicemails, receipts. Instead, I let him move in with her. I let them crash and burn, slowly, publicly. I watched from the sidelines as the same charm he used to win her over started to unravel under the weight of routine and jealousy. I watched him chase a high that was never meant to last. He called me 6 months later. You talked to Emma lately? No. I said, even though she'd texted me that morning, begging to talk. She left, he muttered. Took the car. Cleared out the account. Said I was suffocating. I almost felt bad for him. Almost. But then I remembered the look on his face when he mocked me in my own apartment. I remembered those words. I always get what I want. Now I don't need revenge. I don't need to prove anything. I just let karma do the talking. And this time, I get the last word. Liam didn't call again for a while after that. I heard things through mutual friends. How he moved back with Mom for a bit. How his car got repossessed. How he started posting vague Instagram stories about fake people and loyalty. The golden boy was tarnishing fast, and no amount of filters could polish what he'd done. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding, not just from the breakup, but from everything. My self-worth, my circle, even my job. I started going to the gym again, got promoted at work, signed up for photography classes, something I'd always wanted to do, but never made time for. I learned how to be alone without feeling lonely. And then something strange happened. Emma came back. It was a Wednesday evening. I had just finished a run and was unlocking my apartment door when I saw her standing there by the stairwell, arms crossed, eyes rimmed red. I didn't know where else to go, she said. I didn't speak, just opened the door and gestured her in. She looked thinner, worn down, like all the chaos she'd helped create had finally come back to collect. I made a mistake, she whispered, sitting down on the same couch Liam had once mocked me from. He wasn't who I thought he was. You were always solid, kind, real. I ruined that. I leaned against the wall, arms folded. You didn't just ruin it, I said quietly. You lit on fire and handed him the matches. She flinched. I know. I'm not asking for anything. I just want to say I'm sorry. Truly. For a long moment, I didn't reply. The silence felt like truth settling between us. Thank you for saying that. I finally said, but you don't get to come back just because he turned out worse. She looked down, nodded slowly, and then she left. I never saw her again. A few months later, I was at a local art show, showcasing some of my photography, a moody black and white series about contrast and trust. A woman named Lila, who ran one of the local galleries, took an interest in my work. She had a sharp wit, steady eyes, and a smile that felt like clarity, not illusion. We started talking, then texting, then seeing each other. It was different with her. There were no games, no power struggles, just presence and peace. One night, almost a year to the day from when everything collapsed, Liam texted me, still mad. I stared at the screen for a while before replying. No, I'm over it. A few seconds later, he replied again. Guess you won after all. I didn't answer that one, because it wasn't about winning. It never had been. He could keep chasing what he wanted. I had finally found what I needed. Peace, purpose, and this time, someone who didn't confuse desire with love. And that was something he would never understand, because Liam always got what he wanted. But I learned to value what lasts. What had once felt like devastation became distant, like a storm that had rolled through, wrecked the place, and finally moved on. I no longer flinched when I heard his name. I no longer replayed conversations or asked myself, what if? The wound had scarred, but it wasn't bleeding anymore. Still, life has a funny way of bringing things full circle. One afternoon, I stopped by a downtown cafe to meet Lila. She was running late from a gallery installation, so I grabbed a table near the window. The place was quiet. Soft jazz playing in the background, the kind of mellow hum that lets your thoughts wander. That's when I saw Liam outside. He looked older, not in years, but in weight. Shoulders slumped, skin pale, dressed in clothes that hung like he'd shrunk inside of them. He wasn't with anyone. He didn't have the swagger anymore, just a sort of restless fidgeting. Like even he didn't want to be around himself. He stepped into the cafe. Our eyes met. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then he gave a short nod and walked over. Mind if I sit? He asked, voice quieter than I remembered. I motioned to the seat across from me. He sat down like someone sitting in a confessional, not a coffee shop. I heard about your exhibit, he said. Saw some of it online. It's good. Really good. Thanks, I replied, cautious but calm. He looked down at his hands. I was a jackass. I don't even know if sorry means anything now, but I was wrong. About her. About you. About everything. I didn't say anything right away. He wasn't wrong. Sorry doesn't fix betrayal. But I could tell he wasn't here for pity. Maybe not even for forgiveness. Just acknowledgement. You know, I finally said, you once told me I always get what I want. He winced. Yeah, I remember. So how's that working out? He laughed, dry and self-aware. It's not. He rubbed his eyes, tired. Thing is, I used to think getting what I wanted was the same as being happy. I confused having with being. Turns out, wanting everything just leaves you with nothing. He looked up. You don't have to forgive me, but I'm trying to be better, even if it's too late. I took a sip of my coffee, thinking, you don't get to rewrite the past, Liam, I said, but maybe you can stop repeating it. He nodded. Fair. Just then, Lila walked in, spotted me with a quick smile. She looked toward Liam with polite curiosity, sensing tension but not intruding. She walked over, kissed my cheek, and sat beside me. This is Liam, I said simply. My brother. Liam gave her a faint, guilty smile. I'm the screw-up. She raised an eyebrow and said, good and no affront. We all chuckled, soft, awkward, but real. Liam stood, his chair scraping the floor. Anyway, I should go. I've got a meeting. Hey! Glad to hear it, I said. He gave one more nod. You look good, man. Happy. I am. He left without another word. Lila turned to me as he disappeared down the street. Was that weird? I thought for a moment, then smiled. Yeah, but not painful. Just part of the story. And she reached across the table, took my hand, and said, Well, I liked this chapter better. So did I. Lila and I finished our coffee as the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting golden streaks across the cafe windows. Outside, the world kept moving. People laughing, cars passing, lives intersecting in ways we rarely understand in the moment. But for once, I wasn't caught in the chaos. I was exactly where I needed to be. The past, with all its betrayal and bitterness, no longer held power over me. Liam had made his choices. So had Emma, and I had made mine, to move forward, not out of revenge, but out of respect for myself. I didn't win by getting even. I won by letting go. And as Lila leaned against my shoulder and whispered something about grabbing dinner at that little Thai place she loved, I smiled. This wasn't the life I thought I wanted. It was better.